Hello, Americans. And other friends and subscribers around the world. Back again, man. So we are putting up, actually this last strip up here, I'm using some of this fiberglass crap. I thought it'd be nice to have some light down there. This one's all dang light. So I thought I'd do this ridge cap with a little bit of this. That's what I'm up to today. I was gonna film some earlier and just trying to get stuff done around here, man. And today, the weather, holy smokes. I haven't looked at the temperature and don't have my phone on me, but oh, it's got to be 60 degrees today, man. It is truly amazing out here. Actually even hot in the dang sun, man. Figure out what I'm doing. I get talking, see, I'll wipe this thing all out of hoorah. The last video, every time that I do a video where I'm building something, is everybody's always asking, you gotta have building permits in your county? And yes we do. I always check everything. Anything that I'm building, we've been here long enough now, you know what you can do and what you can't. Without having a building permit. It used to be, I don't know if it's that way anymore, but northern Idaho, up like where Uncle Earl's at, that area, used to not have to have building permits, but I'm thinking they've changed a lot of that up there now because of the growth and everything up there. And if you don't watch one of my friends over at North Country Off Grid, Chad and Shelby, he's been going through a bunch of stuff, and I'm not sure it was Bonner County or one of them counties around there. I knew somebody that, back when, we're talking a long time ago, and I've talked about it before. There was actually a time that I could have bought. Oh, it's probably been here for 7. It's got to be 15, 18 years now. But I had a chance up there, and I didn't have the money. I wish I would have. But I could have bought 10 acres for $10,000, and I had a well on it. And $1,000 an acre, man, from up there. And now, I'd be able to do dang well on it. I haven't asked Bearpaw Shane if he. I don't think he's up at his place, but I don't think, because he, was before they. I don't know, man. I don't want to say too much about any of it up there because I have no idea. Things have changed a lot since, But yeah, and we looked at that, and the reason we ended up in north central Idaho more so was because the kids at the time weren't gonna follow us, and we wanted to stay, wanted to get out. We wanted to be far enough away that you wouldn't get the Flatlanders living up and driving back and forth to work, but wanted to be where it wasn't a zillion miles. And then it turned out all of them ended up moving up here anyway, so we could have went, because I would, like I've said a zillion times, I would have went to Elk City. If I'd have known then what I know now, would be in Elk City doing this right now. it's all changing too. I mean, Idaho, it's the growth is unreal. But the old Chad and Shelby, like I said, man, I really don't know any of the details or anything. All I do know is I'm proud of you, Chad, man. Dude, you're just going in there in them county office, dude. You're as cool as a cucumber, man. You freaking handled a lot better than I would. So, man, dittos to you, my friend. That is, man, I'm proud of you, brother. That's, you are not getting too excited. Deal with that, I'd probably end up in the other end of the courthouse where they wear orange suits. So, you're doing good. But man, like I said, I don't want to say anything about any of it because I have no idea. But back to, as far as my county, your county, I've had people say, well, I can't do that, man, because we're strict in, my area, whether you're in Idaho or Montana or Minnesota, wherever the heck you are. First thing you want to do, if you're trying to start a, you're wanting to do a homestead or anything similar to like what we're doing, is you definitely want to check your codes and what you can do, and whether you're going to do something to the extreme of foundation, building a full-on house. What I call the cabin, which if you watched it, welcome to any new viewers that just came over here. Man, we're getting a lot of new subscribers and stuff. But, I call it the cabin and everything. But really, we live in a park model travel trailer, or, a park model trailer. Those batteries going good. But, with a snow cover over it. And I checked out all the, before we did it, checked out all the regs, what you could do as far as a snow shelter and stuff. Talked to the building inspector and everything like that. The building inspector actually came out here and gave me our address, because we did not have just talked about this, but we did not have an address for this. There was not an address for our property when we bought it. Nobody had ever lived on this piece of property. So, and that was part of the deals. I had to make a permanent, I guess, is what he said. So I had to take the axles out from underneath my Vagabond and set it on blocks, like a mobile home. And that's a whole, I might get a new battery now. We'll talk about that. All right, now I'm back. So anyways, I was talking about mobile homes, man, and putting my Vagabond on blocks. If you you get a piece of property, and you're wanting, whether it's off-grid, semi-off-grid, or you got power, because we've got power, man. I've talked about it a zillion times, but, we were looking for it to go completely off-grid, and Miss Kitty's the one that kept on pushing for this piece of property, and that was because eventually, man, we haven't had such great luck with it for the last 6 years, but, next will be a greenhouse, so we're going to try that. But as far as gardening, because there was 2 properties that it boiled down to, and man, we were running out of time because we were wanting to get a place before winter. And we found this one and signed on it in July. And by the time that we got all our junk moved out of where we were at in the flat, right on the edge of the craziness down there. By the time we got it up, we moved full-time onto this piece of property that October, 6 or 7 years ago. So anyway, then that's where the rush, and that's where, man, just throwing up these, covers, man, and yeah, we'd actually borrowed the last tank of gas money to get everything on here. I ended up losing so much stuff down there. Got up here and was picking metal up in the field, off the mountain, anything, man, and just throwing together whatever I could to give us somewhere. There was me, Miss Kitty, and all 4 of our kids. So all of us, man, for that winter, man. You can go back on the videos, man. We just hovered around this wood stove was in the center, and there was holes in the roofing, and I mean it was a rough go of it that first winter. So anyway. what I was saying about the mobile homes, you know, if you're wanting to save on taxes, because, man, any concrete that you pour on a piece of property is going to be more taxes. You know, I do get taxed, you know, we've had our tax people out this year. They came out and we did a big walk around and measuring everything and pictures and all that. And, you know, so, I mean, I do get taxed on anything. I mean, you get taxed, which was, I didn't know it, but I get taxed for my storage trailer out there. And I don't know if it's a new thing in the state or if it's been that way for forever, but that old junker motorhome that's sitting out, I mean, it runs and drives and stuff, but Red just let it, the ceiling's falling in and stuff. But anyway, I want to make it into a flatbed to haul when I tear down barns and stuff. But anyway, we get taxed for that thing sitting here. I get taxed for anything that isn't licensed. As far as an RV, I get taxed on my old motorhome. I get taxed on that old motorhome out there. I get taxed on that trailer until I tear the top off the junker trailer. I get taxed on my storage trailer. I get taxed on Kara's trailer and and obviously taxed on the Vagabond and the Vagabond and the snow shelter, whatever you want to call it. I get taxed on this. I get taxed on this. I get taxed on that. I'll get taxed on that lean-to. Anything that has a roof, you get taxed on. Well, the taxes would be higher if that stuff was sitting on foundations and there was a bunch of concrete out here. You get taxed if the taxes are higher. And my thing on that, me and Kitty's, has always been to live on wheels, man, to have everything where you live on wheels. But like I said, now, if you're going to live on wheels, man, that mother better be registered or you're still going to get taxed on it. It just ain't going to be as high as, if it's sitting permanent or stationary or whatever. But that takes what I was trying to get at is it is cheaper to live like in a mobile home on blocks than it is in a mobile home on a foundation, so it's just cheaper. Why, I don't know, but it's cheaper taxes that way. So the main thing, if you're wanting, your dream, because we get so many people, I want to do what you're doing and all that. Where's the cheap land in Idaho? Dude, the cheap land in Idaho, unless you can get some down in the, maybe between Mountain Home and Boise, out there in the desert, I think all the cheap land in Idaho is taken. There ain't, man, the prices that I've seen lately. Our county's going insane. Up there where Chad's at is going insane. And that's, man, like I said, I know nothing about it, so I ain't gonna get involved with it. But my thinking on the problems that they're going through is that county, the growth that county has seen, they just don't know what to do or how to handle it or whatever, so they're trying to, I have no idea, man, but I just think, that, because, dude, the last 2 or 3 years, it's insane, so I just don't think they know how to handle, so many people, and, I really don't know. Man, I watch, like I said, other than kudos to Chad and him, man. Cool. Dad, I mean, he just sings just one tone, man. No reason his voice, nothing, man. He does really good on that, man. I'm pretty proud of him. But, so anyway, that's my thing on ours is, that was one of the things when we were looking in our county is I checked, like, building things and all that, and you can, and I've talked about it before, and somewhere I was just, I don't know if it was Shane was telling me, or Bear Paw, or, but somebody was telling me, man, that they'd made it, because you can build basically like a shed, or basically like my lean-to, if it's not over so many square feet, and you don't plumb it, or run, electrical, you don't run the electrical outlets and all that, you don't plumb it and everything, and it's basically just a shed or a cover. I mean, 'cause that's all that is just a lean-to. Basically, shelter. I was just talking about putting firewood in there, man, for the winter. But, so, But you want to check in your county is check to see, you know, how many square feet, you know, of a shed and stuff like that you're going to build. And then, you know, I mean, if you're wanting to build, obviously they're coming down on the off-grid stuff or whatever. You know, in Valley County, I had somebody that had a piece of property over there when we were looking for property, and they're all, man, I'll sell you this, and it was on the lake, man, or right close to Cascade Lake Reservoir, and I was all, really, man? And it was the price. I mean, it was higher, you know, higher than we could, more than we wanted to pay for a piece of property, and it was only like a half acre or something, and it was more than we paid for this, you know, our 4 or 5 acres here. But anyway, they, man, and talked to him. I'm like, oh, okay, wow, man, yeah, that's more than I want to pay and stuff. And they's all, yeah, man, we had a camp trailer, and they wouldn't even let us camp on our property. I'm all, what? And he's all, yeah, we can only have our camp trailer on our property for, man, I think it was 90 days or something like that, you know, for basically for the summer or something. And you got to be kidding me. Because, man, now I do not. You know, if you own the property and you want to put a camp trailer and you want to either camp there, stay there, or live there, that is your property, and you should be able to make that decision for yourself. You know, as far as building codes and all that, a lot of that is so that we don't get people in here. That's what the building inspector told me when I talked to him. You know, when he came out giving my address and stuff, is they had a problem or have had a problem with people come in, especially when the prices were down, come in, you know, buy the property, put some wobble box on it, and then turn around and sell it as a, you know, a home without it getting inspected or anything, and then sell, you know, so end up, next person comes along, ends up, you know, not getting exactly what they thought. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's all right or it's all wrong, but that's how I get it, man. And basically, I just wanted to jump in here and say, you know, tell that, because I'd had a few questions on that. I just wanted to make sure we had you video for this morning. We're all just busy. Miss Kitty's out there, I think she might be hiding out in the sun, soaking up some rays now, but she was out raking some leaves. I'm going to get these out. I got to cut some more that fiberglass stuff. We'll take a shot of this thing as we get it going along. I'll show you this, actually. It actually turns out, that's why I love me some, oh, look at the sun over that. It's killer. What a shot. Yeah, the peeled logs, man. I just love the peeled logs. But I'm going to cut me my other couple pieces there, and got to get something framed up there before the wind and stuff starts blowing, but I'm going to get some other stuff done. So make sure you check out the links down below, man. I got put a bunch of stuff on this morning before I got out here and got my butt to work. And yeah, check out the link, KDee Jo's link, and all the links, man. It helps support the homestead, keeps us chugging along here. And what else, man? Check out, go over to Mountain Junkers. I did put a new video on there yesterday. Probably won't get one up today, not doing other than listing this morning. I don't think anybody wants to just watch me sit there. But other than that, man, please remember to like, subscribe, share. Helps keep the lights on, the home fires burning, and propane tanks full. And good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. Like I get that son. We'll be back again tomorrow. See ya.